Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
But that's not what I call him.
And don't forget, if you want the news when you're out and about on the go, you can download it as a podcast by searching for WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast from. Adam Cleary, what have we got coming up today?
Well, we've got some backstage news on Kurt Angle's new role.
Some major announced team changes planned for WWE.
Some minor backstage changes announced for WWE.
Another update on the WWE Network and that tiered pricing system.
Is Killer Cross suing Impact? Someone asked him and he answered.
And potentially worrying ratings for Smackdown. This is the news.
Yeah, but coming up first, you're going to see a lot today, possibly even in the headline of this video. The 205 Live is cancelled. Now, don't worry, it hasn't made an inappropriate joke or, I don't know, done something otherwise it shouldn't have. Triple H has just been talking in a recent interview with Newsweek, and he's alluded to some major changes for 205 Live, which do sort of suggest that the brand is being folded in. You know, like when you make a nice batter for the cake, you can't stir it, you've got to fold it to get there. It's being folded in to NXT, which, given that it's a smaller brand than NXT, does kind of imply that it would then cease to be, but there's no specifics yet about precisely how that arrangement would work. But he does say, and I'll let you make up your own mind about these comments, I think 205 Live always existed as an island unto itself, a little bit, and it's become lost in this limbo. Should be doing a Triple H impression, shouldn't I? You'll begin to see it more move towards the NXT banner and the talent there. We have a lot of talent for them to begin to compete with each other. Oh, what? What's he said? For them to begin to compete either open... For them to begin to compete either open against anyone or in the Cruiserweight division. He's done a Trump there, hasn't he? But have that title sit under the NXT brand is more meaningful. I think what he means by that is they can compete with each other, but if it's part of it, it might mean
the Cruiserweight Championship will be on it.
It creates more opportunities for more people. It's for Raw and SmackDown. It's an open division for them. When you're on both shows, everybody's competing against everybody, which you don't. I think makes a lot of sense. If you're going to present NXT... I don't think what he said makes a lot of sense.
No, it's a jumble of words, but deciphering it, I think it does make sense, because if you're going up against AEW with NXT, and NXT's this hot, cool brand, but then you can also add in, like WCW did, this high-flying, exciting Cruiserweight division into there.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, WCW wasn't, in long term, wasn't the thing you're aiming for.
No, I mean, unless they're trying to do this, like some kind of X Division or Zero G Championship style thing, which I guess, like, what that says to me is that the Cruiserweight division will still exist, but 205 Live, the show, is going away. Like, the Cruiserweight division will become a part of NXT. It'll help fill the time, certainly gives a platform to a lot of stars who deserve it. We've seen, I mean, even this week, Chad Gable's managed to break out of 205 Live and get into the King of the Ring final. Yeah,
it does make sense as well that they get rid of 205 Live, the TV show, because I saw somewhere on Twitter this week, they were doing the main event and half the crowd had turned around because someone had a baby and they were singing, "Hey, we want the baby." So
Jesus,
it's fine to move on and just pin it on NXT, and I think it'll be best for not only NXT but also for the Cruiserweight Championships and the Cruiserweight wrestlers.
It's kind of been, 205 Live's been a bit of a dead end for NXT call-ups, hasn't it? Can't particularly think of anybody who's been called up out of NXT, gone to 205 Live and done anything really spectacular.
Yeah, I saw the Kushida on there the other day and I went, oh no!
Oh no! Yeah, but that's another bit of NXT news. The second hours of the September 18th and 25th NXT USA episodes. My God, it's so soon.
That next week?
Yeah.
Jesus!
The second hours of these initial two shows will be on the WWE Network, not on the USA, because they forgot that Suits still hasn't finished, and Suits has the 9 p.m. slot.
Do you watch Suits?
I don't watch Suits. I just know, I only ever heard about it when your mum was marrying that.
Yeah, Meghan Markle.
That was it, yeah, she was apparently on that.
Yeah, but I've just finished watching the first season of Suits. It's good, it's scandalous.
It's actually good?
It is actually quite enjoyable. Just lawyers and stuff.
Right, nothing to do with wrestling?
Oh, no.
All right, okay.
But it is going to be funny that they're going to be like, well, here we go, NXT rolls on the WWE Network.
It's kind of ironic, really, isn't it, given sort of like the meddling hand Vince and everybody backstage have found in Raw, that NXT is going to have its last hour ruined by Suits as well. It's the best joke I've got.
That is very good. Let's move on and talk about some major announced team changes that are being reported now. We should clarify this is being reported by WrestleVote, so pinch the old WrestleVotes in with there. But it was reported yesterday, and it's sort of been confirmed today by them in terms of the changes that they're going to have on the announced teams as we head towards, potentially, they may do this as part of the draft, but more than likely it's going to be when SmackDown moves to Fox on Friday, October the 4th.
That is also so soon.
And apparently the plan is that Michael Cole will be the head SmackDown commentator, whilst Vic Joseph will be on Monday Night Raw. Vic Joseph, he did a really good job on Monday Night Raw recently.
Yeah, but that's an odd... I mean, don't get me wrong, I know Cole is sort of more associated with SmackDown, certainly, because he sort of really got his not his big break, because he had done Raw and stuff before, but he really came into his own when him and Lawler did Smackdown, then eventually him and Taz. Him and Taz. It's nice when you've got distinctive commentary teams, I always think, but not three-men booths.
No, exactly. I think whatever they do here, I'm fine, whether you put Cole on SmackDown or Raw, and Vic Joseph being promoted would be great news, but just make it a two-man booth, or two-person booth.
Who would you have, who's the other man on Raw for you? Or woman? Would you have Renee or Corey?
I'd have Corey, to be honest.
I think don't get me wrong, I think Renee's a very good commentator. But
Renee could do that new TV show that they've got with like Jerry the King Lawler or whatever it is on Fox or something.
Don't put her in a room with him.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Let's move on.
Some slightly smaller changes. I should go to the bigger story here, but this feels like more in keeping with that. Some slightly smaller changes to the production side with WWE. They have hired Mackenzie Mitchell and Matt Camp, which is the backstage roles in the company. It's not groundbreaking news, but Mackenzie Mitchell, you may be aware, she was at Impact Wrestling. She's also done, it says here, Fox Sports West. I suppose that must be an American channel. But she left Impact in January and she's been sort of floating around doing various little gigs here and there. But she's been signed by WWE. They don't know what for yet.
I presume to be some sort of backstage robot, just like everyone else.
Yeah, nobody's really. This is why I think Renee should be backstage. Renee was genuinely like a really distinctive, interesting backstage interviewer.
Yes.
And now they just replaced her with Identikit, just like tits and teeth. There you go. What did you think of the match?
Yeah.
Also, Matt Camp, who was from Bleacher Report, and Sirius XM, which is another one I hadn't heard of. He's going to be the host of WWE Digital.
Good.
Ooh, the on-air host of WWE.
Bring it on.
Another job
Matt.
we've missed out on.
Yeah, that's exciting times, but there's a
laughing through the pain there.
Yeah. There is a bigger role to tell you about in just a second, but we'll talk about the WWE Network. We reported yesterday more about that tiered system that is apparently going to be brought in. There's like free, regular, and then extra.
Extra regular.
Yes. Supersize. And now it's being reported by Mike Johnson by PW Insider that we actually may have a date for this. January 2020, by the sounds of it, is when it could kick in.
It's kind of bizarre, really, that there isn't a tiered system for the network, given, like, it kills all the competition outright, because your local wrestling promotion, if they start an on-demand service, they have to charge about £7 or £8 because that's simply the only margin where the numbers start to make sense. WWE Network, which has literally everything that's ever happened in North American wrestling ever, plus loads of other stuff, plus original content, plus all the pay-per-views, is £2 more.
Yeah.
It's absurd. And there are like so many people out there who, simply for the video on demand and the back catalogue stuff, would pay £20 a month.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned some independent promotions, because Mike Johnson continues to say they've been reaching out to indies about their potential interest in appearing on the network. Mike says he'd expect the likes of Evolve, ICW, Progress, and potentially Shikara to come on board, with the company also going as far as to reach out to Lucha promotions in Mexico as well. So your one-stop shop for all wrestling ever could soon be the WWE Network.
That's icky. Don't get me wrong, like, it's, again, whenever you see
Progress and stuff like that would be good, and Evolve, because they're sort of already part of that umbrella.
Yes, but how many people who have the WWE Network in America are going to be remotely interested in watching that? Putting it on an American streaming service seems, I don't know. I would like to think they will feature them prominently, because obviously when you go on the network and there's a WWE pay-per-view on, it's literally, you cannot not see that. Or they've got a big new bit of original programming, they will put that front and center for you. How they basically program ICW and Progress in that menu, because if they bury it like that, sucks.
It should just be, like, oh, I heard you like really good wrestling. Well, check out these promotions.
Maybe. I hope so. Look, as with everything, I don't really trust these huge, mega national corporate conglomerates to really have the best interests of UK independent wrestling at heart. But then again, if it's on the WWE Network, is it independent wrestling?
Indeed.
Some other news: Kurt Angle retired.
You suck. Sorry, impulse reaction.
Jesus God. Kurt Angle retired, of course, at WrestleMania. Baron Corbin beat him, and then he did the best zinger, the best zinger I've seen in a wrestling ring. I wish you all the luck in the world. Bad luck, skadoosh. And then beat him up, and then Lars Sullivan came out and beat Kurt Angle. It was quite a weird segment, but anyway.
Yeah, I forgot about all that. When Lars Sullivan was the thing.
Yeah, that was, God, where's this year gone? Where's Lars Sullivan gone? Anyway, Kurt Angle still with WWE. There's been some talk about what his role was going to be backstage with the company, and he revealed it on his Instagram of all places, even though PW Insider did also update that as well. Basically, he spent the past several months shadowing WWE producers, slightly creepy, in an effort to learn what that role precisely would involve. And now he's officially, as of the Madison Square Garden shows, a WWE producer. He's putting some of the stories together, he's putting some of the matches together. He's just a steady hand backstage now, which is good.
Yeah, good for him. Great wrestling mind. Certainly glad to hear that he's being kept a part of the company and utilised well, not just being kept around as sort of a legend. He has got a lot to offer. He had an incredible time, not just in WWE, in TNA he was great as well, and he has got a lot to offer, so I think that's the perfect role for him.
Yes, I'd agree, because I just keep going back to the Ronda, Steph, Triple H match, where we all sort of thought, oh, Angle's in that though, Angle can't really walk, and he was absolutely fantastic, and if reported to be believed, had a big hand in putting together the structure of that match, which was my favourite WrestleMania match in forever.
Yeah, it was fantastic. That.
All the best, Curdy Bollocks.
Now, we reported yesterday disappointing figures when it comes to Monday Night Raw, but arguably they could have been explained away by the fact that Monday Night Football returned. Unfortunately, that trend appears to have continued on to SmackDown Live, which of course featured The Undertaker. They're trying to pop a big rating by having these legends return for the Madison Square Garden shows, and yeah, I assume that would have been their plan when they moved to Fox, because they promised all these big numbers to them. Unfortunately, not devastating, not the worst we've heard of in a while. It was worse in July, for example, but disappointing figures when it comes to SmackDown Live's ratings this week, according to Showbuzz Daily. Just over 2 million viewers. As I said, it's been worse as recently as July, but not as good as they would have hoped. No NFL competition, and a not very good drop of approximately 69,000 from last week.
It's a bit of an odd one, this, because obviously the Raw one is explainable away, but of course Raw's programming has been getting loads and loads and loads better lately. That was a sensational episode of Monday Night Raw, but I think as we sort of gathered yesterday, SmackDown was divisive, let's say. A lot of things didn't quite get delivered on, a lot of things underwhelmed, a lot of things flat out disappointed. So it's an odd one. The audience has been going down and down and down and down and down, and we have been there the whole time going, yes, because the quality is going down and down and down and down and down. But we sit here now saying the quality is leveling out for SmackDown a bit. It's at least getting consistently bad, whereas Raw is genuinely picking up and becoming some of the best wrestling television you can watch on a week. So it's...
We keep saying this. The solution is not, oh, look, here's Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock or John Cena or The Undertaker or whatever. Like you say, just make a good product and someone will go, oh, have you watched SmackDown this week? It's really good. And, oh, maybe I'll watch it
My worry is that they've maybe passed the point of no return with a lot of fans, because it's been so disappointing and so many storylines never went to anything and so many stars went underutilized that people are just, even if they do fix it, I don't care. Like the Walking Dead have seen that. Like The Walking Dead had so many bad seasons and so many underwhelming episodes that even when it picked back up, same with The Simpsons, people are just like, I don't care.
Yeah, if someone said to me now, they say, oh, watch The Simpsons, I'd be like, it's dreadful.
No, sorry, I've seen too many bad Simpsons episodes. I think, you hope it's not that, because as I say, the performers don't deserve that. No. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see when the networks change and we get this big upheaval process and what I think we're all hoping is going to be a big hard reset, we will see precisely what the damage is. And speaking of the damage...
Well, yes, I've heard, Adam Cleary, that Killer Kross is suing Impact Wrestling.
Well, somebody asked Killer Kross that question. Killer Kross, are you suing Impact Wrestling? And he said, and strap in for this because it's a long one, I've made it abundantly clear that I have not been interested in going into litigation. So that was the news. Thank you very much for...
So anyway, straight up no.
He goes on with that a bit. He says, I'm not interested in going down that road. I've been trying for many, many, many months. I've been exhausting all options on how to fix this situation. There's an attorney involved and we're not suing anyone. I've been trying to avoid litigation as much as possible. And again, I've nothing to worry about in all of this. I really don't. I'm not on the wrong end of any of this. I'm just going to try and follow my lane here. Now, Killer Kross, you may remember, has been having his share of problems with Impact Wrestling. Namely, he refused to blade in their first blood match. Now, I was doing the news for that, and I did sort of say, how do you end up in a first blood match and not know that someone's going to have to blade or it not be sorted out ahead of time? There's apparently all this big controversy on the night. Refused to blade, they ended up using fake blood. There was a lot of sort of he said, she said over all of this. Yeah, medical issues, whatnot. Somebody hadn't been cleared. So the thing goes on and on and on. He's asked for his release from Impact Wrestling, and he got Starlet Bordeaux her release as well. She's already having trials with WWE, but doing a little cursory bit of research for this, which, believe it or not, I do every now and then. His problems with the company go back way beyond this. He was having some merchandise issues in regards to who was getting what share of what sales, and it's just, he's not having a happy time there. Yeah. I think he needs to get out.
Killer Kross, rather an apt name.
Why?
Because he's cross.
Oh, yes, very good.
Let's move on to your Twitter questions.
I thought he said he was going to kill them.
Let's move on to Twitter questions. At WhatCulture WWE, if you want to get in touch. Official True Story starts us off.
To Mr. and Mrs. True Story, his son, Offie.
He says,
to his friend.
I've been saying for months now that WWE should bring back the European Championship.
Yes!
Do you think it would fit perfectly in NXT UK?
Right, I'll tell you what you do with the European Championship, right? The European Championship is the bridge you should have between NXT UK, between your European domestic product and the main roster. Now, we know the United Kingdom Championship doesn't fit on the other brands. I've used it on NXT, which it does kind of work with, but it's weird having the United Kingdom Championship on Raw and Smackdown, right?
Yeah.
Whereas people remember the European Championship. It was a staple of those shows. So having your European champion be somebody who, basically, the way they used Cesaro at the last show.
I mean, that's what we were saying in the office this morning, wasn't
Imagine
it?
putting
Literally
it on
put it on Cesaro.
And then every sort of takeover, you can have the European champion. They can come back to challenge whoever, and whoever wins it, they will occasionally defend it on the major brands. It gets people who watch Raw and SmackDown watch the US product. It gives them a reason to go and watch NXT UK. Now, I know that's not the end-all be-all of NXT UK. You want a UK audience for it, but it's the WWE product. You want your entire global audience to watch that. Otherwise, what's the point?
Adam Cleary, it seems so easy to book WWE.
Doesn't it? It's hashtag so easy to book WWE.
Right, let's move on to the second question today, which comes from Gav, who says, with AEW and WWE hoovering up all the indie wrestlers, why has no one picked up Grado, Joe Hendry, or Colt Cabana?
Right, simple one for this. Colt Cabana, I think he's too much of an entrepreneur and a businessman to tie himself down into any one place. Obviously, the man
very well on
the man pretty much invented the whole idea of the YouTube skit and the wrestling podcast. The man is fingers in so many pies. I don't know if he could ever go be a full-time wrestler anyway.
I mean, it's obvious why he's not gone to WWE. He's had a history there.
Yep.
And yeah, I think he's doing very well for himself on the indies.
Grado, I love Grado. I love Grado as a man and as a performer. But if I was booking an AEW or an NXT or something like that, I don't know if he's a natural fit for any of that. He's very much still a comedy wrestler. In an age where we're having all these ultra-realistic sporting event 5-star spectacles, Grado is a great bit of diversity on the show. He could fit in AEW, definitely, but you've already got an Orange Cassidy type who was there as like a, wow, that's completely different, and a Luchasaurus, and you got a Jungle Boy. He might be a step too far for them. And he's doing TV work as well. He's been very successful on BBC Scotland. He's another one who's doing a lot of other things. Who was the third one on that?
Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry, I literally have not got a clue why nobody else
Well, he's in Ring of Honor, isn't he? He's doing some stuff with them.
Yeah, he's just started Ring of
I
Honor.
think he will end up eventually at somewhere like AEW. He's done stuff in WWE.
I wouldn't want to give too much away because it's not really my place to tell people this, but it's not as if he's short of offers. I'll put it that way. It's not as if they've got no interest in him.
No, he's very, very talented, both inside and outside of the ring. So expect to see him probably going there very, very soon.
He is one of the most convincing orators in professional wrestling.
Yeah, very good.
And there's a genuine lack of them. So I don't.
Didn't he work with Rusev?
Yes, he did a WWE thing with Rusev.
I love that.
Yeah.
Final question today comes from Bryson, who says, since WWE always has a talented batch of Mexican wrestlers, and with new Mex wrestlers starting in NXT, if 205 Live is to get cancelled, or whatever they've got planned for it, could you see them replacing the show with their own WWE-style luchador show? And what do you think it'd look like?
Well, for a start, it would look exactly like 205 Live, because if you remember the opening title credits to 205 Live and even the Cruiserweight Classic, it was all dudes in masks flipping around doing lucha wrestling.
And they go, here's Enzo Amore, he's going to rap now.
Yes. I think initially when NXT UK was announced, it was part of a broader project they were going to do to have an NXT Japan, an NXT Mexico, and NXT Middle East. They were going to basically franchise this brand out. Or so the talk was anyway at the time. I don't think NXT UK has gone the way they thought it was going to be. I think they thought it was going to be the biggest thing in UK wrestling, and still hasn't quite. It's part of the landscape now. Everybody watches it, but people still go to the local indie shows. There's still this, that, and the other. I think had NXT UK dominated the UK scene, it was like the destination event for all UK wrestling, I think you would have an NXT Mexico by now, maybe an NXT Japan. I don't know. I don't think they understand Mexican wrestling sufficiently well for them to do it.
No, they're always so keen to be like, let's take that mask off, shall we?
Yeah, you just, you can't speak English, can you? Yes, I can, perfectly fluent. Just say like lucha stuff though.
Right, let's move on to today's and finally. And Adam Cleary, I think it's fair to say you and I have had our fair share of iffy photos when we were younger, yes?
Speak for yourself, all right?
I mean, I've seen your
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, okay. But I love when I see old photos of wrestlers.
Oh, I did a quiz. I did a quiz for this. It's got
Well,
loads of
you may
views.
have a new addition. This is courtesy of Kust Fizb on Squared Circle.
Mr. and Mrs. Fizbus, Uncle.
So thank you for that. Can you tell me, Adam Cleary, who this wrestler is?
Struth. My God. Michael Halfords Grado, yes. Is this?
Well, you're
is it
very
Walter?
close. It is indeed Walter. He used to wrestle in Japan as, I hope I get this right, Gar Cha Ping, with a character with green dyed hair.
Gar Chopping.
Yeah,
As in like
he was called
Guy Chopping.
Called Chopping in his time in Japan. Look at him there, Michael
How old
Hamlet.
is he?
I mean, he looks like a big 15-year-old there, doesn't he?
He still does now, in fairness. That's terrifying, that.
I love that.
He looks like a Grebo.
Yeah, he does actually there. Please send me more old wrestler photos because they always make
He
me
looks like
smile.
the lad in Forbidden Planet nobody wants to be on a shift with because there's always just a smell, isn't there? I don't even know what it is. There's just a
He
smell.
showers. There's just a
He
smell.
showers, there's just a smell. I think his house must have damp or something.
Let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the
It's not
comments.
what it is though, is it? It's because he put an egg sandwich in his jacket pocket once, forgot about it, left it in the conservatory all
save
summer,
that
and now
for
it
later.
doesn't come out. The
Save that.
smell doesn't come out. Egg and cress, Will one.
Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and subscribe to What Culture Wrestling for daily wrestling podcasts too.
Imagine Walter eating cress. What's the point, eh?
Follow us on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE and send us Twitter questions. You can follow him on Twitter.
At Adam Cleary, Clery.
You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. You can follow us all at WhatCultureWWE. My thanks, Adam Cleary. Thanks to Walter. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.